Good morning, everybody. It is 23rd of May, 2023, and I was going to talk about economics today. Of course, a little bit of it is just to be whining and crying about my video yesterday I made, and I started to download it onto YouTube right around 4:30 or something in the afternoon. It took the entire night. It took, I think it was like 14 hours or something like that. So even in the morning, I had when I woke up, still wasn't ready. I had to wait a few more hours. I don't really know what the heck that is, why that is. I guess they're checking me out, something like that. You know, and then also remember that video I made on May 9th? Yeah, some band playing some old song from World War II, and they got me, what did they say? Copyright claims or something like that. I don't know. So I don't know. I guess music's not allowed on YouTube. I don't know what the world is coming to, you know. I guess they're going to put a ban on music or something like that. Right now I'm in Minsk, and I'm in a mall, a very small mall actually, and I'll just show you around here. Vietnamese restaurant, donor place, young girls. I think it's I don't know what that is up there, Fun City, probably a children's place. Children's place behind me here. And of course that's a coffee shop. Yes, anyway, let's talk about some economics here. So a little bit more than economics. You know, this whole narrative that the West has been coming out with, you know, the media is talking this whole time, Russia's losing the war. See, I didn't even know this stuff because I don't pay attention to the fake news, you know, which, you know, includes most all the news coming out of the West. You know, I mostly concentrate, as most of you do, watching some independent news, and of course I put out independent news myself based on what I hear. A lot of times from other people, you know, the Duran and Mike Jones, Emil Kosman, you know, a lot of these people getting good news. John Mark Dugan, very good stuff there. You know, very exclusive things that most people won't report on. John Mark Dugan, he mentioned it, so he's one to also note. Anyway, there's more. Redacted, you know, well, just going down the list, there's just too many of them, but anyway, this narrative, Russia's losing the war. I didn't really know that that's what they were saying in the West. They're saying Ukraine's gaining ground and all this, and then all of a sudden, when Russia takes Bakhmut, I guess now they're even saying, oh no, they haven't taken it yet, but apparently they have. Maybe there's a few little buildings or something where people are, you know, Ukrainians are completely surrounded. I don't know, but essentially they've got Bakhmut, and it looks like there's nothing going to change that. And I don't know if they think they're going to come and take it back or whatever. And you're hearing about this offensive or counter-offensive that's supposed to be happening, and that's supposed to be around Zaporozhye, and apparently it's has to do with this nuclear power plant. They're probably going to try to take it back, and all the fake news, just this fake news. I mean, it's just impossible to be reporting on this stuff. You know, Zelensky's coming out and saying that Russia is bombing it, when it's actually Ukraine, and I don't know. How do you keep up with all the fake news? So. But a lot of this stuff about Bakhmut, you know, now Artyomovsk, the Russian name. I think we should just call it Artyomovsk now. But anyway, it's all this time, you know, the fake news coming out, and I realized that most of my life, even growing up, I'm hearing nothing but fake news about Russia. You know, Russia's backwards. They're all stupid, things like that. You know, we were told that, and I'll tell you. They even somehow, you know, people in Russia and Belarus even received all this, and they, a lot of people talk, you know, that come over here that they're amazed that even Belarusians and Russians a lot of time have this inferiority complex, thinking that they're not quite as good as anything in the West. And in some cases, you know, some things are better in the West, of course, but in a lot of cases there are a lot of things that are better over here too, and it's becoming more and more so as everything advances over here much more, and there's a lot of decline in the West. You all know that. you know, of course, this is all a slow process, and it's going to take quite a bit of time. And the advancements are coming from the east, not just from Russia. Russia a little bit slowly, but of course, look at China. Look at China really advancing, and you know, it's a big topic to talk about it. As you know, there's the Chinese are coming also into very much into Russia and very much into Belarus. They're going to be building an automobile factory here in Belarus, and I guess there used to be a Chinese automobile factory, and I think for some reason they left, I guess, not long ago, and now they're coming back. Maybe it's a different company, I don't know. Oh boy, they're cleaning the floors. I hope you guys can hear me. Hope that noise is not distracting. It distracts me. But yes, you always thought that the West had the best weapons, and that was a lie too. Russia's losing the war. What a lie. You know, Russian weapons are backwards, and all the most advanced weapons are in the West. What a lie. Why are they getting destroyed by Russia? Look at the Patriot. Look at the Patriot missile system. Very, 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 very terrible. It looks like it's just a bunch of expensive junk. One is destroyed, I think, like I mentioned, and getting from mostly Alex Christoforou, Patriot system lasted 1 day, and everything else is getting destroyed. You know, so weapon system. You know, you got like the what is it? The F-50. No, what is it? What's this one? Not the F-22. What's this other advanced piece of junk from the U.S. that you know, has been in development for decades and it still has lots of problems? What is it? I don't know. The F-16 was one of the best jets they've come out with. The F-18, you know, and Russia's going to destroy those too. I think the F-16 is comparable to the MiG-29, and of course Russia's come out with a lot more advanced jets since that time. But the U.S., you know, all those years of bombing goat herders and school teachers and children playing soccer, you know, doesn't show that they're such great weapons after all. And another thing, Russian agriculture. Remember the Soviet days when they had the 5-year plans and all that? Things were never panning out the way they should, you know, but now Russian agriculture often is #1 in the world. Wheat producer, Russia. Belarus is supplying farm food all over now, you know, and of course Belarus is getting products from other Russian republics. Like we have all year round. It didn't used to be this way. I'll tell you what. 2001, most of the country you couldn't get oranges in the wintertime. You had to rely on canning your own food and all that. And now a lot of people still do that, by the way. It's just an old tradition, but I think it's a good tradition. But you get oranges and you get all this stuff all year round. Matter of fact, I think starting around December, I'm not too sure. I think that's when mandarins and all that are much cheaper here. You get avocados. I'll tell you, I've been in countries that produce avocados and they don't even have avocados all year round. Not in the supermarkets or anywhere. Very shocking. So, and well, maybe I should put in the negative news first. Russia, it's not really that negative. They have spent already 40% of what their budget is for this year, and they're not even halfway through the year. I mean, I think I don't know what the fiscal year is, if it starts in October or whatever it does, maybe. Anyway, but they spent 40% and they've only brought in 30% of the revenue they need, what they're relying on, and that's mostly because of the, obviously, this is information I got from Alexander Makuris, by the way. Most of the revenue is, well, it comes from oil and gas, obviously, but they've been given heavy discounts to India and China, so the discounts have meant that and the prices are low, by the way, oil prices and gas prices. So, but anyway, they'll make up for that. And they always do. It's a 10%, and not to mention, you know, spending maybe a little bit more because of the conflict in Ukraine. Things are that way, but wages are up, and yeah, but anyway, there's this information when you say that the revenues are a little bit down and earnings are down. The West is going to say, see, look at, we're destroying the Russian economy. And of course, it's nothing like what they had planned anyway. And it's a 10% decrease when, look in the West, I think they've lost a far, far greater percentage of that, you know. But anyway, some of these positive signs now. Russia is also getting revenue from the Arctic Sea trade route. A lot of shipping is going through there, and of course there's a fee for that because Russia employs icebreakers. And I don't know, there's probably a toll, and I guess they get escorted from Russian ships. And of course it cuts off the distance from shipping products from east to west immeasurably. And it's cheaper than going through you know, the canals in Egypt. It's cheaper, of course, than going through the Horn of Africa. So there you go. That's positive right there. Plus, you probably don't have to turn your freezer on if you have frozen goods. And that's just what I think anyway. And inflation in Russia is measured right now supposedly at 2.3%, and it's going to be revised, believably, probably down to 2%. And when you compare that, say Poland is 14 point something percent, as well as food, the rise inflation of food in Poland is 20%. And along with that, I should say, Lech Walesa was coming out. He's a former president of Poland, and he is saying he can't make it on his pension. He gets 4 times more than the typical Polish person, and I guess the typical Polish person gets I think 2,600 zloty a month, whatever that might be, but he gets almost 2,700 US a month for his pension. Plus he was the president, and he says, oh, he's got to spend a lot of paying for his grown-up children, by the way. I guess he's got 7. I think he's got 4 girls and 3 boys. And either these girls, they didn't marry into some very productive husbands, and the boys, I guess they didn't choose very good careers. I don't know why he's got to be paying for them. Normally in your older age, your children help you out a little bit, you know, as a payback for the days when you supported them. You know, I don't have children, but and anyway, I mean, if this guy's supposed to be so smart, didn't he put something on the side? You know that this guy's got millions. It's like when Michael Jackson, when they said he was poor, he still had Neverland and, you know, millions. Look at the Clintons. They said they were broke when they left the White House. Broke to them means, I guess, they had to lay off one of their chauffeurs. You know, the Clintons are rich, and they've always been rich, and they're even far more rich nowadays. So, yeah. Anyway, and but private sector wages are up in Russia, and they're up in Belarus. It's nearly 100% higher pay now in Belarus as it was a year ago. Nearly, it's getting that way in private sector, I believe. Sometimes pensions and all that are still lagging behind, but that's incredible news. So things are actually really turning up here in Belarus and Russia, and it's something to take note of. And I don't know if that's the end of this video or not. Maybe I should end and try to upload this. Hopefully it's not going to take 15 or 16 hours again, like the one yesterday. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe and push the like button, whatever. And okay, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for joining me. Bye.